Hello and welcome to this free download on the internal compass. I call it the 4 eyes. And just like a compass, there's 4 points to this. And instead of them being north, east, south, and west, it's about impact, influence, intention, and ideation. And I'd like to take you through each one of those 4 aspects step by step. So it starts your thinking, it starts you to get curious, to explore where the areas are that perhaps you might be strong at, or perhaps you might be weaker at. Where do you need to spend more time? And really, the first aspect of all of this is actually getting you to stop and to think and to be reflective and try and use my words as guidance to help your thinking in each of these 4 areas. So let's get cracking and jump straight in. I'll just share my screen so that you're looking at the same thing that I'm looking at here. So your internal compass, it's really about how do you set where you are today to where you want to be, and whether that's 12 months or 5 years or 10 years. I think really we need to have a plan. We need to have a directional compass that says, I want to go from feeling overwhelmed to actually kicking goals. I want to go from feeling frustrated in my career to actually starting to deliver a career that brings me joy. So how awesome would that be to actually go from being invisible so that no one can see me to actually being visible and perhaps even getting sought out, getting a getting a salary, moving your career in a direction that really responds to what you are wanting, but also in your business, getting you to be the CEO of your business. And whether that means around expansion or whether that means delegation, there's lots of different ways in which this really will help you. So let's jump into the first one on the right, and this is about impact. So I'm starting here on impact, and I'm going to go around clockwise. So this first video really is getting you to think about impact, and impact and influence are quite similar, but I think impact is really, for me, what do you want to be known for? What is it that really lights your fire? What do you actually want people to be thinking about, saying about you, feeling about you? So what is your impact? And this could be in your team, it could be a cross function in a business, it could be in an executive level. It also talks to your brand. It's other stakeholders that maybe you don't even know you're impacting. Maybe it's industry-led groups. It can be quite a broad range of groups that you're having an impact on. And it also could be here locally in Australia, if that's where you're watching, but also it could be in across borders, it could be a global impact. Really start getting curious about what impact are you seeking, that you want to have in your professional and personal life. So when you think about that, I really want you to get honest with yourself and score yourself today. Out of 10, give yourself a score about where you are. Are you strong in your impact? Are you a 7 or an 8? Or have you not thought about this before? Is it a 2 or a 3? And then think about where you might be in 12 months' time, where you want to end the year in terms of a score, and put that down as your future score. And then I'd start getting you to think about what tasks do you need to complete to be able to shift from a 2 to a 7, or to move the needle from a 7 to a 9. Think about, have you set your impact? Have you got clear in your own mind about what you want to achieve, even in the next 12 months, 5 years, 10 years? Thinking about what you want to be known for. And then, is that true if you scored yourself a 7? Is it true if you were to go out and do a 360-degree feedback view of people that you work with, for example? Would they agree that you're the aspirational, motivational person who you think you are? So really start getting honest with yourself about what impact you're having. So for me, my example, I would say, I've been building my brand for 8 years. I've got a 35-year career in finance, and leaving that 2 years ago in my CFO role, I had quite a strong impact across the tech industry here in Australia. I certainly had a big impact in my organizations that I was CFO in, because you're in an executive position, you have quite a strong status, so you have quite a strong impact naturally. So, then I went 2 years ago from that career, 35-year career pinnacle, and then started driving my own business, two businesses. And I felt like I actually fell off a ladder because I went down into having so many different experiences that it was incredible. But I think that was how I saw it. But what other people have seen is that my impact has strengthened because now I have the career experience, and now being a business owner for the last 2 years, I've really sort of melted both experiences together so I can have a bigger impact. I've started a conversation, an initiative called CFO Conversations, and I'm building that so that I want to get to 10,000 people that I'm impacting across the next 10 years. I'm doing videos of CFOs with CFOs on the challenges of being in financial leadership. And this is all an investment into the impact that I'm building because I want to help people be successful, and that's part of my impact. So you have to start with the place of, what do I want to be known for? What is my passion? And then you can start thinking, how do I really start to unpack that aspiration, that impact that I want to have? And that might be in your organization that you work for. It might be across an industry. It might mean that you need to have a bigger voice in your organization, or you need to have a bigger voice in your industry, or even with my CFO Conversations, creating new platforms for you so people can start interacting with you in a way that means something to you. So I'm going to leave it there. There is a lot of thinking to do, but I think once you start that exploration around, what do you want to be known for? What do you want people to be saying and thinking and feeling when you talk to them? It might help you think about that in a bit more detail. So I'll come back to you in another video as we then move on to intention.